Hi, in this video, we're going to factor a trinomial using the AC method. In this case, we're factoring the polynomial 40y squared plus 130y plus 75. The first thing you always want to do when you're factoring, no matter what method you're using, is look to see if there is a GCF or greatest common factor. For this problem, because my coefficients are 40, 130, and 75, which all end in either 0 or 5, I know I can pull out a 5 from each one. So I write my 5 on the outside, and then I'm dividing each piece by 5. So 40y squared divided by 5 is 8y squared. 130y divided by 5 is 26y. And 75 divided by 5 is 15. So now we have this version where we have pulled out the greatest common factor. So we're going to be able to factor what's left inside the parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to first identify our A value and our C value. A is 8 and C is 15. So what does that do for us? Well, I'm going to have A times C is what I get when I multiply those two numbers. 8 times 15 gives me 120. Now, I'm also going to identify my B value. The B value is what's in front of the Y. So in this case, our B is 26. Our goal with this method, which again is called the AC method because you found A times C, is to figure out two numbers that multiply to 120 and add to 26. Now, you may not immediately see two numbers that do that. If that's the case, that's totally normal. What we do is we come over here and make just a little chart of things that multiply to 120. So I start with 1 times 120, and then I try 2. How many times does 2 go into 120? Well, that would be 60, so 2 times 60. And I just keep going down the list, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So 3 and 40, 4 and 30, 5 and 24. Extend this a little. 6 goes with 20. 7 does not go into 120, so I skip that one. But 8 works, gives me 15. 9 does not go into 120 evenly, but 10 does. It goes in 12 times. 11 doesn't work when I try to divide it in. And when I get to 12, I already have that on my list, so I know I can stop. So I found this list of all these things that multiply to 120. I now want to figure out which pair adds to 26. And that's going to be this one right here, 6 and 20. Now, what is it that we just did? Well, this told us really how we're going to break up that middle term, the 26y, so that we can factor by grouping. So let's take a look at that in the actual problem. We carry down the 5 from the outside, and then I like to put brackets just so it doesn't get mixed up with parentheses inside once I start getting multiple steps here. But I'm going to carry down my 8y squared, and I carry down the 15. But in the middle, I'm now splitting that 26y into plus 6y and plus 20y because those were the two numbers that we got over here. That's going to now let us do that factoring by grouping. So again, I'm going to carry down the 5. I'm going to carry down the brackets because those are still part of the problem. But then I'm going to look at 8y squared plus 6y as one pair and 20y plus 5 as the other pair. So 8y squared plus 6y. The GCF there is going to be 2y. When I pull that out, I'm going to be left with 4y plus 3. For my 20y plus 15, I can pull out a 3. I'm sorry, a 5. So I can do plus 5 here. And when I pull the 5 out, I get 4y plus 3. Now, what's nice about this is when I go to write my final answer, because we are at the point to write our final answer. Again, we're going to carry that 5 down, but what you'll see is this 4y plus 3 here happens twice. The parentheses match in both spots. So we're able to pull out 4y plus 3 from both of those terms. Then what's left over? Well, I have the 2y and the plus 5 that are still there. So this is now multiplied by 2y plus 5. And this is the fully factored form of this trinomial.